it's Kiravi. I'm back with another episode. It is C-Section Awareness Month, and I have my emotional support giraffe, Jeffrey, because I want to talk about my birth story, finally. So we're going to go through this experience together. I definitely want to record this while I can remember what happened, but we'll just go through this journey together. Let's go. Okay, so I guess like with all stories, we should start at the beginning. So I went into labor on a Sunday, and I prayed my entire pregnancy that I not go into labor during a Bucks game, because I don't know if you know, this is a Bucks family, and there was a game that Sunday, and I was literally having contractions, like, well, I guess it's gonna happen today. And my husband was literally looking at me and watching the game, and he was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I don't know, my water hasn't broken." So he was like, "Okay, he literally got on his knees and spoke to my belly and was like, "Listen, baby, can you just wait a little bit? You know, the game is still on. Just wait." She took that wait literally, by the way, because to kind of fast forward, I didn't deliver until Tuesday, so I was in labor for 3 days. Yeah, so during the game, I laid down, I took a nap, and I was awoken from that nap from, I was, the most that I can describe it was the worst pain I had ever been in my entire life, and my water literally broke in our bedroom. My husband was timing the contractions on the phone with our doula. She was on the way, and I just labored. I labored at home for a couple of hours. We played such great music, the vibe. We had the Christmas lights on. I went into labor in October. I had her in October, so I had to have the Christmas tree up because I was like, the tree needs to be up before she gets here. Anyway, went through that, went into labor, and then around like 11 o'clock that night, midnight, I was like, okay, let's go to the hospital. I mean, it's been 6 hours. She's like coming any minute, right? That wasn't the case. So at the hospital, that first shift, loved the nurse Lily, loved her. Oh my goodness, she was so sweet, because I was really adamant on, don't give me Pitocin, I don't want it. And she was like, that's fine, we're just gonna try and make you comfortable. So she kept giving me heat packs, and my husband and the doula were basically in and out of sleep while I was trying to like keep to myself and be quiet, because I didn't want to wake them, even though I was in so much pain. Monday was a blur. I remember my mom coming into the room finally, and she literally looked at me, and I think she immediately like started crying, because I was like, "Mom, help. Help, you're finally here, thank goodness." And my husband was like, "Good, somebody else is here." And oh my gosh, they put like this bulb inside of me. Now, mind you, I'm still unmedicated. I did the first 24 hours unmedicated. They put a bulb because I wasn't dilated enough. So that was in for hours. That hurt so much. They started giving me the Pitocin. That just made things hurt even more. Like, I was in so much pain. Like, just thinking about it, my back is starting to hurt, because I'm like, oh my goodness, it was so painful. And people just kept coming in and out of the room. People just kept checking me, touching me. Oh my goodness. There was another awesome nurse, and her name evades me, but like, I know when I see her and Lily again, I'm just gonna give them a hug, because the second nurse, she was she was a certified doula and was helping with things while like guiding my husband, because I'm like, bro, I want to do it unmedicated. And then I just reached a point to where it felt like Jesus was in the room with us. I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And I literally told my husband, like, I cannot do this anymore. Take my phone. People were calling me like, hey, have you delivered? I have not. My sister called and was like, hey, we called her when we were on the way there. And she was like, okay, cool. And she kept checking in. And it's like, this baby is not here yet. I'm sorry, the story is all over the place. But the bulb falls out. And I'm still just in pain. They give me some medicine and it doesn't really take the pain away. It just makes me loopy. And I just remember looking at my mom and my husband, and then my other sorority sister came. She sat in the room for a little bit. I remember me and her talking, and she literally looked at me and was like, I never want to do this again. Fast forward, she just had her second child. So I found that really funny. Yeah. And then Tuesday came, like Monday night, Tuesday, once again, I have like no concept of time. I just knew that I was hurting. And I just reached the point to where it was like, you know what? That epidural is starting to sound real nice. It wasn't until many months later that I saw what the needle actually looked like, because at the time that they were doing it, I could only see my husband's face watching me, and the man put that 10-inch needle in my spine. And then after that, I was like, okay, everything is numb. I'm scared. I didn't want to go to sleep because since I had no feeling, it was like, how would I know if somebody was touching me? And then my doctor came in, and like this was, I think I'd have some appointments with her, but she was a Black woman, so I was like, cool, because the first person that they had, I was literally like, I'm not listening to you. I'm not. So the other doctor came in, Black woman. Like at first, like when you're like, I just like, she was talking to me, but I'm like, I don't know what's going on. She's trying to talk to my husband, and he's like, no, you should talk to her. But basically she was like, we're having this baby before the end of my shift, and her shift ended Tuesday at 5:30 a.m. So Tuesday morning, it just was not looking good. They gave me an oxygen mask, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna give you this C-section now. So I was like, okay, I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? They wheeled me, so everything happened so fast. They shaved me, gave my husband a gown. I kept looking for him. They wheeled me into the OR, put the sounds, hearing them count the utensils, the whatever guy that was to my right, because you know I wasn't under. You're awake during a C-section. And my husband was there. I was literally singing the Winnie and the Pooh theme song just to try to like get out of there. You know how to deep in the 100-acre woods where Christopher Robin plays. That's like my that's like my lullaby. So I was literally singing that. He's just like, wow, you're doing great. And the doctor called his name and was like, hey, your dad. And he took my phone. He took so many pictures. I have pictures of her literally like coming out, and I'm like, wow, that's like my body. The human body is amazing. God is so amazing, because seeing her like come out from those pictures, and when I heard her cry the first time, that's when it was like, oh my gosh, I'm a mom now. What? Like, what? I just became a mom. And like after that, Antonio was watching her, like making sure she made it to the way, that they were checking her, everything was okay. He even like held her hand a little bit, and like we have that picture, and I was like, oh my goodness, she looks so big. She came out so chunky. She was a chunky baby. And I was like, yeah, girl, yeah. Child, after that, they wheeled me into I think it was the triage, because it's where you go after just to make sure you and baby are doing okay. And I remember on the way there, like before we left the OR, they asked if I wanted to hold the baby. And I was like, yeah, most definitely. Ooh, I almost forgot. When they pulled her out, the entire room was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, girl, you had that OR like had them in awe. Oh my gosh. So like that moment was so like Anyways, back to the triage. What I didn't know was that after you have a C-section, there's going to be multiple times to where people push down like on your stomach to, I guess, push everything back to where it's supposed to be. That was painful again. Yeah, they almost forgot to pack up my placenta, but my husband made sure we had it. And yeah, then I went into the hospital room. My mother-in-law was there, and basically my mother-in-law and my mom like switched places, and my mom hit the tag, "You're it," because she had to fly back to Florida, and my mom-in-law, she stayed with us for 3 weeks. That first week in the hospital room, because for C-sections, you have to stay for a couple of days. I was in there for 5 days. Meanwhile, y'all remember Sunday. I've been there since Sunday, delivered on Tuesday. I didn't leave until like Friday or Saturday. I had cabin fever so bad. I wanted to get out of that hospital so bad. And then I remember on Thursday, they were like, yeah, you should be able to leave today. And then they were like, never mind. We just want to check out the baby and make sure she's okay. And I'm like, bro, if y'all don't let me leave with my child, I'm just gonna leave. So I walked around a little bit, and just really the pain. Ooh, another fun fact is that after you deliver, when you have an epidural, you have to basically like teach your body how to pee again, because you had like, I forgot what it's called, catching your pee. So you have to pee a certain amount before you leave. And the first day I couldn't do it. And it was basically to the point to where they had to insert a catheter while I'm awake. Hate that, like worst feeling ever. And it happened at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So my husband and mother-in-law were asleep. So I couldn't even like, the level of self-control, oh my goodness, me and those nurses. But the nurses that night, they were cool. They were cool. So yeah. And then like lactation came in the middle of the night. And once again, I'm still like, I don't know how like stuff works. I'm leaking a little bit, I guess. And it was something, man. It was something. I'm so glad that baby girl got here safe, that I survived. Truly grateful. Like to go from like her being in the crux of my arm to now like walking around and saying words and starting to potty train. It's like, there's nothing like it, man. And my doctor had to keep telling me, because I wanted a natural birth. That was what I wanted. That's what I was practicing for, training for. I'm like, so I can be a real mom. And she's like, look, even though you still had a C-section, you're still a mom. Like, you're still a mom. So for the C-section moms out there, us with our little scars, I'm not showing y'all mine because that's a bit much. We're still moms. And even with the definition of moms, surrogate moms, natural birth moms, aunties that are actually moms, friend moms, moms of the friend group, you know, there's power in that. So shout out to C-section awareness. I really hope I don't have to edit this, because I don't know if I'll be able to actually talk through all of that again without crying. So I hope you have a good rest of your day. Be nice to somebody, support local libraries, support indie authors, check out Kiravi Bello. Ebooks are now available on my website. And yeah, see you.